So it was kind of nice to be like, like offer that service.
Yeah.
Service.
I mean,
Welcome back to another episode of the Cule Kids. Nothing beats a Cule Kids holiday. And right now you can save 50 yen per person. That's $1.60 for a polycule of 5.
wait, that's nothing.
I'm JC.
I'm Michael.
I'm Milty.
I'm Eric.
I'm JJ.
And this week we're talking about a recent trip we had.
Yeah, we just got back from Japan and Taiwan. It's our like second major international trip as a Kilo 5, so I'm sure we had a lot of new experiences that we can tell people about.
I feel like this was a very different experience than our previous one because this is like the first one we had that the primary goal was just like go sightseeing, like tourism. Whereas like the last one was like, oh, we went to White Party in Bangkok. And so that was a lot of like party and not much like sightseeing.
Yeah, and it was the first time we had to actually like balance different people's like priorities in a new country. So Eric and I have been to Japan already, but Milty, JC, and JJ, it was their first times. So like between the two of us, we were trying to make sure that we like were able to plan out an itinerary that made sense for them.
It was actually a lot longer too. Like our Bangkok trip was what, like a week or so? And this whole trip was like, was it almost 3 weeks?
Yeah, 2.5 or so.
Yeah.
We spent 5 days in Tokyo first, then we spent 1 day in Hakone, and then after that, we traveled further south to go to Kyoto for 3 days, and then Osaka for 3 more days. And from there, we flew to Taipei, where we had 4 days of partying and 1 day of recovery.
I don't think I ever really said it, but I really appreciate you guys for like trying to make the trip like right for us, like getting to experience all these things with us, even though you've all done it before.
Yeah. Especially you've been done like a lot of times.
I've been lucky enough to have been to Japan, specifically like Tokyo, like 4 times already. So it was good though, because I think one thing I was saying that during the trip is it was really nice to be able to re-experience all these things through the like lens of you guys and just like being happy to be there with you and being like, oh, okay, this is something I would not have normally done on my own, but like now that everyone else is excited about it too, I get to enjoy it in a different way. Yeah, I would say that surprisingly our Japan trip wasn't like particularly gay. Even though like in Tokyo we stayed in like Shinjuku Nichome, which is like the gay district, we were all just so tired that we didn't really make good use of it.
We only had 1 night out, which was the night we got there, and it was pretty tame, but it was still nice to even get a tiny bit of experiencing the nightlife out in Tokyo.
Yeah. Shout out to Meng and Andrew for dragging us out for a brief period of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do feel like we were like, oh, let's stay in Nichome because it's the gay area. And then we did all the tourist things that were like outside of Nichome. And then like when we got back, we were all already just like too tired to go out.
That was like really surprising to me because I think our time in Tokyo was like the most, to me, it was the most chill because everything after that was just like, everything was packed. Like our days were packed, but somehow like I felt, I don't know, like we got more done and we didn't complain too much about it.
Well, I think also like we were also kind of like acclimating to the time zone.
Yeah, usually like the first 3 or 4 days going to like Asia, just like the jet lag means I'm usually calling it early night.
Yeah. Like,
one thing that was a little bit weird though is that like our hotel was like a family hotel. So it's like 1 block away is like clubs and go-go boys.
Yeah, not even a block away. There was that one store where like just like go-go boy in his underwear was like standing outside the store.
Yeah. But then like all the other people that we saw at the hotel were like families, so like 2 parents and kids, and it was just like, are you sure you know what you're booking here? Like,
yeah. What is it? What, like why? But like why is there a family hotel like right there?
One thing I will say about the hotels was that it was still pretty cute that we were able to, in most cases, push like the beds together, and so like the people that were sleeping on the beds got to like snuggle a little bit. But like later on, for example, like Osaka, we had for that one we had to split up into 2 rooms, unfortunately. So it was like me, Milty, and Eric in one, and we each had our own like double bed.
Yeah, the individual beds.
Yeah, that we all pushed together, and I was like, we totally could have fit like the other two and like another person on here.
Yeah. I actually, after looking at the beds themselves, like, and going into your room and looking at them, it's like we totally could have fit.
Well, the main issue was really the luggage space.
Yeah.
It was a luggage
Like
space.
even the three of us, we had nowhere to like open our cases.
And I think that's the challenge with us as a polycule trying to travel together, is that we want to try our best to get everyone into one room, as opposed to if you're just a friend group, then you might be a little more okay with splitting up rooms. But wanting to like sleep together it makes it such that you have to share luggage space with five big luggages is kind of challenging, especially in these smaller rooms. And that like kind of increased because we started buying more things, and now we increased to seven
the
luggages.
number of luggage boxes we had just slowly grew over time as we got more and more souvenirs from
yeah.
Or one thing from claw machines.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you guys knew was that I was obsessed with claw machines.
I think I've known about that.
You
I
already
mean,
know
I
about
kind of
this.
knew, but I don't think we ever like went to play them that often.
Yeah, we have not done that together like on a trip. This is the first time you've
Yeah.
seen me like kind of play them.
We had some pretty good hauls, though.
We did pretty well. I feel like we didn't spend too much. On
Not
claw
too much. It
machines.
wasn't that bad. Yeah.
Yeah, like Lapras was a win. There's this like blanket.
It's at my
somewhere.
house.
It's at your house.
The cute blanket that you won.
Well, I
actually.
won, yeah.
Did you enjoy winning it at least?
Yeah, it was pretty nice winning on the first try.
Yeah. I think it was the best. It's like winning it on like few tries and feeling like you got a deal.
Yeah. Well,
Even
because we
though,
had
like,
just
yeah.
seen another group try to get that blanket at a different place, and then they spent way more than us.
Yeah.
So one thing that I think was really cool about our Tokyo hotel was that there was like a sauna built into the room, which was a little bit unexpected and also kind of hard to turn off. I think you had to go like to the front desk to get them to do that. But it was fun. We got to make use of it. Invited some people over and had like a little sweat fest.
And a lot of them, they had never used the sauna before, and so it was kind of nice to be like, like offer that service.
Yeah.
I mean, because we've got the room, so
Yeah.
it's in the room, so the more we can use it, the better.
Oh yeah, and for also context too, because it wasn't just us who was traveling to Japan. We knew a lot of people who were also traveling at the same time because they were also trying to like do some sightseeing in Japan. So we all managed to like meet up with some friends during certain days too during Japan, and yeah, we got to like all hang out in the sauna, and that was a lot of fun. I like that.
Yeah. We tried to coordinate like meetups with people, although sometimes it was a little bit less successful than others. But it was really funny where we kept bumping into people at random like tourist destinations, and we were like, "Oh, good to see you. Can you take a picture for us?"
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like having like a photographer was it was kind of nice sometimes.
Yeah. It's like, okay, thanks, bye.
I will say I was surprised because we did have a chat group going with a number of other people who are also traveling to Japan and Taiwan at the same time. I am surprised that we didn't actually like run into each other more, or like try to schedule things together more often.
Yeah, I mean, we did have one at least like dinner with a few other folks, but like it's already like we're a group of five. A party of five is already hard to seat, and then like if you add just like 3 more people, then it's already like automatically 2 tables. So I think like it was probably for the better that we didn't try to force or like shoehorn too many like group meetups, and the serendipitous chances where we did end up together worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and I think the point of the trip was to all get closer together and experience like new things together too, as opposed to like specifically us plus friends. Like we wanted to make sure we had our own intimate time too.
Yeah, with that being said, what were people's favorite parts of the trip?
Looking back, I think a lot of the most memorable things about the trip were actually the food. Like, I actually had a lot of food that I'd never had before in Japan. And those are my biggest,
And a lot of steak that you've had before.
Yeah. No, well, yes, I had a lot of steak. And it was just like street food, like steak. they were advertising them as Kobe beef or Wagyu. It's like, oh, this is relatively cheap.
Well,
for
it
what
wasn't
being
just
what
street
is.
food. It was like also every time we went to like a sit down, it was like, oh, they have Wagyu. I need to get the Wagyu.
Yes. Well, it was so. I mean, it was really, really good.
Well, you did seem to enjoy it every single time you
Yes.
did get it. At least
Yeah.
you seemed like you were having it.
I think I got Wagyu like 5 times.
I think that's an
That's-
No,
understatement.
I think it was
That's not-
more. I think
yeah.
it was more.
I think it's probably easier to count the days that you didn't have Wagyu.
Yeah, true. But okay, Wagyu aside, I just felt like the food was great. It was really, really memorable. So I had yukatsu for the first time. That was actually the first time I'd ever had it, and it was so, so good. The ramen that we had, super delicious. And it was ramen I'd never had before. The yuzu one, I really, really liked it. We had a couple of kaiseki experiences, which I really, really enjoyed. And then the yakitori place, super yummy. I'm a big fan of that vibe of just sitting down, getting like small things to share, ordering some beer, just like drinking and chatting. And it was like not that expensive, relatively speaking.
That was actually one of my least favorite meals.
Really? You did?
Because it was just like, it's just chicken.
Yeah. Well, you did get a lot. You guys, okay. So we had to split up into like 2 tables. They were next to
It
each
was the
other.
beer
but we
table
had-
and the non-beer table.
Yeah. But you guys got a lot of like chicken breast,
Yeah.
and I remember you guys said that it was kind of dry.
Yeah.
We just got all the fatty stuff.
Yeah, we got
The chicken skin was so good.
Yeah, the chicken
actually.
skin was so good. We got hearts too, right? We just got all different parts of the chicken. So it was for me, the variety was quite good, and just it was a great time.
I would say that my favorite memory was also a food related one, but not because the food was good necessarily, but it was at like the omakase sushi place that we went to. And then like
I see where you're going.
the 3 of you guys were on one side, and it was me and Eric on the other. And you guys were like, "Oh my god, everything is so good!" And then Eric and I are just looking at each other like, "I think this tastes the same as the thing before it." So we started like just like messaging each other because we didn't want to ruin the vibe like out loud. Just be like our thoughts on everything. And we ended up with like a list of our opinions on each dish, which I thought was really cute.
Yeah, I really like wanted to do that. Like once we started, I was like, oh, this is such a great idea because now we have this like little record of like all the things that we ate.
And then it was also particularly memorable because the chef that was preparing the food, he would like announce the type of fish every time he would give us something. And there was this one instance where he was like, he was telling, so the people next to us were also like English speakers. So he'd be like, go to them first. And so we would have a chance to prepare. And he goes to them and he's like, "Guisado shado." And we're all like, what is he saying? And like those 2 people didn't know either. And so then I'm just like, I start Googling it. And apparently it's a fish that's called a gizzard shad. But like, obviously we never heard of this before. And like, he's trying to explain it to us. He like tries to spell it out. He's like, G-I, and then I don't think he knows what the rest of the letters are. So he just like turns away and like
Just
trails
continues
off.
making sushi.
And then after I Google it, I'm like, oh, okay, like it's this fish. We've literally never heard it before. And so he's like, okay. It's herring no nakama. And we're like, oh, okay. It's like the comrades on like the pirate ship.
Which is so hilarious. I think it's so funny. It's like because we like and the way that I think of the word nakama is like it's like the like a companion or like really
Yeah.
close.
Yeah, I was like, this fish has
Friend.
plot armor.
Yeah, exactly. But apparently you can use it as like same category, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
It's
okay.
like
That,
same
which makes more sense. But I just really enjoyed thinking about it that way. Like they're like besties.
Yeah. We're eating the friends. So yeah, overall, I would say, even though it wasn't my favorite meal, like food-wise, I think it was one of the best dining experiences overall.
Yeah, the chefs were very chatty and like were happy to like interact with us and just make sure we had a good time. I had a good time.
Well, you like the food.
Yes, I did like the food. I very much like the food.
JJ's overall very easy to please when it comes to food. It's always like and I'm just like, I need to temper my expectations considering.
Yes, I'm very reactive when it comes to when I experience food.
I think something that I really liked about the trip was doing the Ryokan. So for those unaware, actually, I don't know how to describe Ryokan.
It's a traditional Japanese inn, but I think like nowadays it's has more of a connotation of being kind of fancy. There will be sort of like a traditional tatami, like futon type of sleeping situation. There's usually like onsen included at some places, and yeah, it's a bit more of like sort of the less tourist, or it's like the less businessy type of like hotel accommodation.
Is that typical for ryokans where like the service aspect is one of the main highlights? Or is it just the one that we went to that was like particularly fancy? Because they were like waiting on us like very like on like hand on foot like throughout the entire experience.
I would say that, like, granted, I've only been to like one other ryokan in my past, but I think there is generally like a more emphasis on service for this type of hotel, but also given the tier of room that we ended up getting, like it was a little bit extra.
I see.
But it was nice because the room that we got was specifically for 5 people.
Yeah,
Right.
it was like the nicest room, but like the only reason I booked that one was because it was the one that fit 5 people. It wasn't like I was trying to go for the nicest room. I was just trying to get one that fit all of us.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things about it was that we all got to spend like this big day together in like this really fancy hotel room, right? Like we had our own private like bathtub that was sitting on the balcony, and then we were able to see like this nice landscape of like the mountains and like this like major like billows of clouds coming in. Just being in that environment, having like this very like traditional but very fancy like dinner and breakfast that was included, and having they had their own public baths as well in addition to the private one that we had in our room. I just felt that whole experience was just very like quintessentially Japanese. Like we got to experience things that like we didn't really get to do anywhere else on the trip, and I thought that was really cool.
I will say like like you were saying, the scenery outside, like the windows was like gorgeous. It was like incredible. I actually spent some time in the morning just like staring at it, like sitting and like staring at it.
Yeah, it was the day that we were in Hakone was not great weather-wise. So like they are known for having this like ropeway that takes you up to like the top of the mountain where you can eat these like blackened eggs that are supposed to add 7 years to your lifespan. But also part of it is that like you're supposed to have a view of Mount Fuji, as the cable car will tell you. But the entire thing was so foggy that all you could see was just like white. So we didn't quite get that part of the experience.
That was the day we arrived, but then the morning afterwards was when like the clouds cleared and it was super duper pretty. So we tried to make the most of the morning when we were there. And yeah, echoing what you said, Milty, like it was one of the most unique experiences I've ever had in terms of just eating, relaxing, being pampered, and just the living situation was just something I'd never had before.
I really enjoyed Universal Studios in Osaka. I think for me, I don't really go to theme parks very often. So maybe like you guys have a different perspective, but like because like I went to Disneyland when I was like maybe like 10 and I remember nothing about it. So this was like kind of a really new experience for me. But I think for me the most fun aspect was that we were kind of sharing in this experience together. You guys had not been to.
Yeah, I think
this
it's
either.
all of us. It was the first time, right?
It was all our first
Yeah.
times, and just like kind of collaborating and just trying to figure it out together and try to like, oh, we want to do. Let's go to this place. Let's go to this place, and let's try to like strategize and try to like get it to various degrees of success in terms of like doing like the ride order and stuff like that. But I think that was like a lot of fun for me.
I think that was one of the things that I was like, I wish I had done more research because like we lost so much time because we waited 3 hours for the Donkey Kong ride, and that was like, I was like, we're already here, so we might as well do it. But man, 3 hours is a long time. But it was a
Yeah.
good ride.
Yeah.
Like looking back, it's like I wish I had planned out, like done more research on Universal because we had done research for how to get in, but then once we got in, we were like, what do we do now?
I knew that the Mario Kart ride was supposed to have like a really long line.
Yeah.
So like we did that one first.
Yeah.
Which I mean, I'm still kind of glad that we got through that early
Yeah.
because the line did get pretty long afterwards, I think. But it was between that and the Donkey Kong ride, yeah, maybe should have done the Donkey Kong ride first.
It's okay.
But I think it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got.
Maybe we could have saved an hour if we had done the Donkey Kong ride first, and then we would have just had wait in line for Mario Kart. But I like the Mario Kart a lot.
I think like, but the things that like waiting in line at Mario Kart, I think would have been more fun.
Yeah.
Too, because like the Mario Kart queue, like there was so much stuff to see, and like we just had to just like run through it.
Yeah.
I think that one also capped out at about an hour, like throughout the day.
I think it was a little over. I think it was like an hour 30.
No, but either way, it was nowhere.
It was not
near
3
close,
hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed experiencing like Super Mario Land for the first time with everyone. That was a lot of fun. I think one annoying thing about traveling as a Cule though is the fact that a lot of things are not meant for 5 people. Like we often had to split up all the time for all the rides. So we had to do like groups of 2 plus 3. And then so it was kind of annoying that like you guys got to get like this really cool like fun picture from a roller coaster ride, but it's only the 3 of you guys and then 1 random person. And it wasn't like all 5 of us or even 4 of us too. So that was the unfortunate thing about traveling as 5.
I think personally, if I were to redo, if we were to go again, I would just have us spring for the express pass. I think it's like, given the amount of additional park you get to experience, it's definitely worth it.
I also agree with doing more research too. Like we did a lot of research trying to get in to make sure we got into Super Mario World, but like I didn't realize that there were so many things. Like I didn't even realize that it was gonna have like Halloween related events. So there were all these like Halloween shows that I was like, oh, I didn't know that there's gonna be like scary actors and stuff. Like that would have been actually fun to like kind of plan out and do research about the events. Like,
Yeah, that was definitely like news. Yeah.
yeah.
It was very unexpected. Like, this is just an assumption made from one trip to a theme park in Japan, is that a lot of people like to like purchase the costumes that are available at the stores and kind of dress up as characters and just wear it throughout the park for the entire day. I think that tends to be less the case in the US theme parks, right?
Yeah, I feel like here more so people will like buy it there and wear it, but they won't come like dressed for it.
Yeah, like I remember seeing a whole crew dressed up as like One Piece characters. Like that was really crazy.
That one was weird because like there's not even One Piece.
Yeah, I saw that too. But yeah,
It was like a family, I think, because it looked like it was like the mom, dad, and like kids.
And one of them was Frankie, and he had like this giant like robot arm he had to carry around the entire day. I was like, I don't know how you're managing that, man.
well, I was really like, I was kind of like thrown off because also apparently I don't know if this was for Halloween or maybe it's just general for theme parks. Maybe it was specifically because it was Halloween and a lot of people were dressing up. But then there was like a group of people who are dressed up as like SWAT team or something, like or
I
like
saw-
police
yeah,
or
I
something.
saw that
And like
too.
me, I was like, why is the SWAT team here? It's like, wait, I'm in Japan. That's not a thing.
Yeah, it was a little strange to see that. It just was like, are you allowed to like impersonate? I mean, yes,
Law
we're in
enforcement.
Japan, but just
Right.
For me, it was just like, why is there SWAT? Yeah,
But apparently that's normal. It's like not too crazy.
It's like a normal Halloween costume.
It's a normal Halloween costume. This is like dress up as like a police or something.
Yeah. We have that here, just like sexy cop.
yeah.
Yesterday, it was Halloween yesterday, and I saw a bunch of people dressed up as SWAT team members, but it was sexy women like activity team or something.
Yeah. But these people were like, they were dressed up as like full like tactical gear, like actual stuff, and I was like, oh, this is. I thought we were getting swatted.
Would you have wanted to dress up together had we known about it?
I think so. I mean, I hesitate to make everyone like buy stuff there, but it would have been cute. I think if I don't know, for simplicity, like we all got like maybe the like headgear or our little Yoshi type things, or like you also had one that you liked, right?
The flapping.
The flappy one, yeah.
Oh, that was really good.
Or even just like, I don't know how much they ended up costing, but like the wizard robes or whatever. They seem kind of cheap. Like it was just like a cape, right? And then just went down.
Yeah, but we don't want to support her any more than we
Yeah. It was fun though, the Harry Potter world or whatever it was called.
Made me a little bit nauseous, but it was still cool.
Oh my god, that ride. Oh, okay, that's what I learned about myself is that I can't do those rides. The ones where it's not a roller coaster, but it's like
You're watching a screen.
you're watching a screen and like they rock you around while you're watching the screen, so it gives the illusion that you're like flying. We cannot do those.
No.
And just like we were both like dying by the end.
I was so nauseous by the end. I was just like, this is worse than actually just hurtling through the air.
Because it was the Harry Potter one and there was the
Minions
one.
of
The
all
Minions
things.
one. Yeah.
I was like, this one's made for like 6-year-olds. And I'm about to throw up.
In the middle of the Harry Potter one, I was like having a really great time, and then suddenly I'm like, oh okay, I can't anymore. Also spiders, so
Yeah.
can't do. I was like,
We managed to sneak in like one actual roller coaster in the last like 5 minutes of the park. But that one was also kind of weird because it was like the Jurassic Park one, but after dark, which just means that they turn off all the lights for some reason. And so like you're going through the thing and you can't see any of the dinosaurs. It's just like, what was the point? And then I was freaking out because like I can't see any of the drops, so I'm expecting them to happen at any given moment. And so like any sudden movement, I'm like screaming, and then we're like, oh, we didn't move at all.
well, so I didn't know what was going on either for the Jurassic Park one. So like I was like half expecting them to like like do a jump scare with like turn the lights on, and suddenly there's a
Velociraptor.
Velociraptor, but then like
There was
they just
nothing.
didn't.
No,
They were just
nothing,
dark.
yeah.
So I like in the beginning of the ride, I was like, ah, 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 oh, okay, well, now what?
The one thing I will give credit to that ride was it was 5-seaters, so we got to sit together.
It was the only 5-seater the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think something that I should talk about as well too is that when we left Japan to go to Taipei, that was also another struggle that we had, which was not being able to get an Uber very easily. Because not only is it us 5, so we automatically have to call like 6-seaters or more, like larger cars to drive us, but we also had all that luggage with us too. So that was a lot of a challenge to figure out.
We actually got rejected.
Yeah, we didn't
By the
fit.
Well, it was in Taiwan, right?
In Taiwan.
Yeah.
We were
Yeah.
in Taiwan, yeah.
When we were in Taiwan, someone came to pick us up, and then after seeing how much luggage that we had, they're like, nope, canceling this. And then they left.
Even though it was like specifically an airport, like
Yeah.
an airport Uber XL. So yeah, that was.
Yeah,
Kinda
that was a little surprising, but it ended up being okay.
And then once we got to Taipei too, like I think that the type of travel that we experienced became a lot different because then it was a little bit more similar to our trip to Bangkok for White Party, where the focus was more on partying as opposed to like seeing events and stuff. It was a lot of fun because we got to like hang out with a lot of people that we knew, and we got to like experience these different types of like social events together. But yeah, totally different experience compared to like Japan, where it was more intimate and experiencing new things together.
Well, actually, I wanted to ask, what was your guys' thoughts on Taiwan and Taipei Pride?
It's fine.
It was fine.
Yeah. I mean, so we for reference, Taipei Pride, like there's a couple of different things that you can do. So there's like the parade and like the event during the day, which we didn't really make it to because we were sleeping. And then there's a bunch of like clubs that I guess are like more official.
Which we also didn't make it to.
We heard like horror stories about like the lines in the organization of those, so I'm like kind of happy that we didn't. There's like the main party for MOSA.
Yeah, big circuit party.
Big circuit party. And then there's also like more smaller private events, which is mostly what we ended up doing. I think I would still say that those smaller parties were like the best part, in my opinion. It's just a bit more of like an intimate sort of venue, and like you know more of the people there. I think like with the bigger circuit, it's just a little bit too crowded for me.
It was just fine for you.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of fun?
I had a great time.
Okay.
But I love being in Taiwan. I just like being there.
But we didn't doing these events in Taiwan didn't have anything to do with Taiwan.
There's a little bit of overlap. Like I met a few locals that I got a chance to chat with.
I did not.
I see. And then like going to the main, like sure, we missed the main parade, but we still went to the main square where the like festivities continued to go on. And it was really, really nice to see like all the stuff that was going on there. There was things about families, there were like things about pets, and actual animal pets, not like pups or something like that. But it just felt like a really welcoming and friendly environment. So even though we missed the main parade, right, we got there a little late, we still managed to hit like the tail end of the festivities. So, and there was still a lot of people there. And the main city square where everything was, it was just bustling, and there were tents of what I felt like more wholesome things. What I'm very used to in SF is just, it feels more sexually charged. It feels more high energy. Something about being there, something about the way Taiwan Pride felt. It just felt more intimate, like nicer, really.
Yeah, I think in SF, I don't get that impression about like sexually charged energy. I actually get more energy, more of an impression that it's very corporate. But I think in Taiwan, I noticed a lot of tents like focused about like more like personal things. Like for example, like this is a tent about like, you know, family resources. This one's like a tent where they're like giving pride things, and they're basically about like domestic abuse education. And oh, this one over here, this one's about like you know, like adoption and stuff for gays. And then, oh, this one is actually just a local artist and stuff. So it felt a bit more of a community aspect as opposed to like very like high overlord like corporate of a feeling to it too.
I disagree because we got the Pizza Hut, we got the Coke, we got the like, I don't know, there was the Gilead booth. Yeah. Like it was still very corporate. Like I do think that the energy felt a little bit more like excited. I think SF Pride like is a little bit more jaded, I'm gonna say. But I think like the content is similar. It's just that I think the energy of the people there is different.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying that there was like zero corporate presence for that, because yes, we did get those things. The pizza was really nice when we didn't have any food that day. But I do think that overall it felt more smaller. I noticed a lot more like families and stuff too. So yeah, I definitely agree about the energy felt different. It was really nice to see that one parade. That wasn't even during like the actual Pride, right? It was just at night, and we saw like these people pass by, and then it was people marching for like trans awareness, and there was also even a polyamorous sign too. I thought that was really cute.
I remember that the trans march always happens the day before. I had actually marched in it last year with a friend, which I really, really like.
Well, there is one thing that is different, I think, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, between the SF Pride March versus the Taiwan Pride March, is that SF, I think, in order to march in the parade, you have to get, like, you have to be allowed to do it. Whereas like Taiwan, anyone can just like jump in and like march, and it's a lot less regulated in that way. So it feels like you can be participatory much easier.
I mean, you and I marched in it a long time ago, like almost like 7 years ago one time. But yes, and you could just go in and march, and then if you were done, you could just also step out and be done with it. I like. I guess it's some combination of intimate and more warm and friendly about the whole thing about it. Is that kind of is different from SF. SF, it's like you said, it feels very structured. It's like, oh, there are rules. You have to do this. You can't, and you just don't feel. I personally never felt as welcome in SF Pride from like a personally. Like I personally never felt that as welcome in SF Pride. It's just more like, oh, this is a big event to celebrate, but like I didn't feel like, ooh, I can just join or something like that.
Like being a part of it.
Yeah, being a part of it. It was just always, you just attended it, but you weren't like part of it.
One thing that you mentioned, it's I guess you also mentioned like the similarities between our experience in Taiwan and our experience in Bangkok. For Bangkok, a lot of the events were centered around the main events, the main big circuit parties, and just like going to those. Whereas for Taiwan, events seem to focus a lot more on the home pause and like the smaller parties and like spending time with people in smaller hotels and hanging out there. And I think for me, I also like enjoy that aspect a lot more than perhaps spending a lot of time like dancing at the circuits and stuff.
Yeah, my only issue is that they start so late.
They
Every time I would be incredibly dismayed at it's like this doesn't start until 3:45.
What I really appreciated about like our Taiwan Pride experience versus like White Party was that we still had like a good amount of things that we did during the day. Like we still hung out with our friends and stuff like that. Whereas I feel like in Bangkok, like we really didn't do anything during the day. So I think if we had made an effort to do it, we probably would have had a different experience.
One thing also, like as a Cule, and trying to navigate these, particularly the home pause, is that like if you have like, I don't know, one partner, then it's like, oh, like you can ask the host and be like, oh, hey, like this is my partner. Can my partner also join in this home pause? If you know the host, then it's generally acceptable. But for us, it was just like a little bit crazy to be like, hey, you know, like my other partners, 4 other people would also like to participate in this party that you're hosting. And like the fact that we were all able to go together to all these,
Everything,
to
right.
everything was actually like really incredible and crazy.
Yeah, it was really incredible that we got to go to all of these small private parties together. Just want to give a special shout out to the folks that organize these things. It's a lot of stress, a lot of work. It's kind of thankless, honestly, but you know who you are, and we really appreciated everything you've done, and we hope to see you guys again in the future.
And hope you'll have us again in the future. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed reminiscing with us a little bit about our trip to Asia. We had a lot of fun and did a lot of stuff. Make sure to follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and Spotify at the Cule Kids. And you're officially a cool kid for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Japan.
Hi!
何が好き?
ギザードシャドウよりもあなた。